Hey guys, how's it going? It's been a long time since I've posted a video. We wanted to go on with our blog for a long time, and we wanted to kind of continue um, speaking to y'all, I guess, or just sharing just how our life has been. But we got very busy. We got married, and then just eventually we just kind of phased out. It really hasn't affected. The last time I posted a video, I think, was actually when we got engaged. So that was a long time ago. But it's been something that I've been thinking about lately. It's been something that I've been, I guess, kind of trying to figure out: is it worth putting out videos every week, or even every day, or just even every once in a while? And I don't know. I got to come up with something to do. I mean, I don't want to be like every other blogger that or every other vlogger that just every day just takes their camera or takes whatever they're recording with them all the time, and all they do is they just ramble on, kind of like the way I am now. I tend to do that a lot. I tend to just get in front of a camera or get in front of a person and just start talking, again, like I'm doing now. So I need an idea of what I should do or what I could do, and maybe just come out with a video maybe once a week, maybe two a week, maybe do one video. I don't know. Anyway, but I what I wanted to do today is in a few days, actually this coming Sunday, will be Betsy and I's 1 year anniversary. We'll be married for officially 1 year, and what can I say? It's been an awesome journey, and I just honestly I never thought that I would reach that far. I really did not so much with her, but me personally, I never thought that I would ever be married. For that matter, I never thought that I'd be married for a year, but it's true. I found honestly the best thing that has ever happened to me. The best person that has ever come into my life. She honestly, I don't want to say she completes me because I was complete when I found her, but she makes my life better. She makes me better. Um, I was content and happy with who I was before we got married. I was happy being me. I was happy with me. And when I met her, when I fell in love with her, and when I finally stood at that altar and I said, I do, my happiness level went to an all-time high. It skyrocketed. It was huge. So, what I wanted to do these next few days is I wanted to post a video from now until I believe Friday, because Friday's going to be the last day. Friday, Saturday morning, we're going to be taking off. We're going to be going on our 1 year anniversary honeymoon vacation, our time, something. Anyway, but it's gonna be a trip. We're gonna be taking a trip, and so it's gonna be really cool. I can't wait. I'm excited because we're gonna be going somewhere that we've never been before. And but anyway, that being said, what I wanted to do these next few days is just kind of just share my heart, just pour out what I've been feeling. Um, Last year at this time, we were 5 days away from the wedding, and everything was just falling into place. Everything was just set. I mean, we all our plans, our budget, our uh, just organization, everything just like bam, just fit perfectly, and so we were excited. It was already uh, time for us to have everything prepared, and that day is I specifically remember about 5 days before. Um, it was 5 days before the actual day, the actual day being the last day. But well, I guess you could say 4 days before, 3, 4, 5 days. Yeah. Anyway, But it was that week right before our wedding that it hit me. Uh, it didn't hit me at first. It didn't hit me like bam, knock me over. I'm freaking out, cold feet. No, I never had cold feet. I was actually ready. Like I was actually counting down the days. But that fifth day, right before it happened, I sat. I distinctly remember I sat in my room, and I remembered exactly how we met, and I remember exactly how everything just fit into place. Betsy and I first met when I was a BGMC children's church director. I was the Wednesday children's church director, and her sisters and her brother were actually in my children's church. And every Wednesday they would come in, and she would drop them off, and I would always tell her hi. I would always say hi, but I never knew Betsy for other than just one of the youth. And yes, at that time I was older than her, and she was just one of the youth. She was, I believe, a freshman at the time that I met her, a freshman or a sophomore. I'm not sure. I think a freshman. Anyway, besides the point. When I first met her, I would say hi to her, and I would just kind of wave and say hi, and she never paid attention to me, never never noticed me. She would say hi back, but that was it. All she knew me as was I was her siblings' uh, children's church leader, and that was it. And that was it. And I loved her sisters, and I loved her brother. I loved talking to them and having them in my class because they were always very active. They were always, they would always come up to me and give me a hug, and then they would always take off. But just over the years, I started getting to know her. And uh, at first she didn't like me. At first she thought it was annoying, actually, because they were always she was always part of the group of youth that I I liked being around. And she had her friends, her friends that I would always give them rides. I was always taking them out to houses, taking them places. I was always the chaperone, the chauffeur. Because I was the only one with a car. I was the only one with a license. I was the only one with a car. And so anytime they needed something, they would always call me up, and I'd go and pick them up. And she was one of them. She was one of them. Now at the time, I didn't like her. Well, as a friend, I liked her, but I didn't have any feelings towards her. But it wasn't until I think it was the beginning of her junior year that we started actually talking. Um, for other reasons, we started talking. She was really close to me, or we got really close to each other, and we started talking on the phone. And it was always just to talk. It was always just never an attraction kind of thing. It was never a relationship, a romantic type of talking. It was just us talking. We would just talk, and the closer we got, the more I realized that I was actually attracted to her. Now, at the time, it was kind of odd. It was kind of weird because I was a lot older. I'm 5 years older. Or right now, I'm 5 years older than Betsy. So at the time, think about it. I mean, she was starting her junior year, and I was like 21, 22. So it was really weird. I really didn't tell a lot of people because I didn't want a lot of people to know. But I eventually started liking her. And I really cared about her, and I really thought that she was an amazing person. But I didn't act on it. I didn't say anything. I didn't do anything. And we kept talking. We started getting closer and closer until we actually became best friends. And I know that sounds weird, but I got so close to her that it was always me, her, and Rex. Us three were always just this group. We would always hang out. We would always talk to each other. We would always just get, just hang out all the time. Sorry, and I I don't know. I got so connected with her that I started feeling this attraction to her. And at first, I didn't want to call it love because I had been in love before. I had actually had girlfriends prior to her, and I got really, really attached. I mean, these weren't like, just these simple little, crushes here. No, they were really, really, really strong relationships that I've had. And I was burned bad, really, really bad. So I didn't want to call it love, and I had actually said, before I met Betsy, I'd actually asked God. I said, God, don't let me fall in love with anyone anymore. The next person I want to fall in love with, I I want to marry them. I want to spend the rest of my life with them. So when I started liking her, I I didn't want to act on it right away. So it took me a while to build up enough courage. And one day we were talking on the phone, and I just mentioned I forgot what we were talking about or how we got on the subject, but I brought it up. I said, wouldn't it be funny if we started dating? And she started laughing, and she's like, yeah, that would be pretty cool. We could hang out, blah, blah, blah. And, we kind of toyed around with the idea. And then I got real serious, and I asked her, I said, would you ever date me? I mean, would you ever go out with me? And she thought about it for a while, and then she said, yeah, I would. So I took that as that's my it's my opportunity to tell her. And oh man, I remember, I distinctly remember, I was sitting in the driveway. I was in a car. I was sitting in my parents' driveway, and I was talking to her. And it was because inside the house it was loud. People were watching TV, and again, I didn't want anyone to know who I was talking to, and I didn't want anyone to know how I felt or hear me. Not that I was hiding anything. I just, at that time, I didn't want anyone to know. But so I'm outside and I'm in the car. I'm sitting down, and I'm on the phone with her. And I asked her. I said, "Look, I didn't ask her. I told her. I said, I have something to tell you. I don't know how to say it, and I don't know how you're gonna react. So I'm just gonna tell you. If it freaks you out, and you want me to drop it, I'll drop it. If not, I'd really like to hear what you think." So I said, for a long time now, I've been entertaining the idea of us actually in a relationship. And lately, I've just been getting these strong attraction feelings towards you. And I really like you. And I think you're a really great person. I think you're very, very beautiful. I think you're very sweet. And I love spending time with you. And then I just left it at that. I wanted to see what she would say. And I distinctly remember I could hear on the phone her laughing. Now, not laughing like ha ha ha, what an idiot, no. But she was just like kind of like giddy, giggling. And then, then I hear her come on the phone, and she says, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah, really. Like I really feel that way." And she said, "Oh, okay." And I'm expecting more, right? But she doesn't say anything. She just says, "Oh, okay." And I said, "So, is that it? I mean, that we're just not going to talk about it anymore." She said, "Well, I kind of feel the same way." And I freaked out, and I said, "Whoa, are you serious?" And she said, "Yeah, I feel the same way. I like you too." And just from there, it was just all uphill. Not a battle, but it was just smooth sailing from there. I mean, from there we started talking more to each other. We started getting closer. We actually didn't start dating, because one of the things that she says is that, or she told me, was that, because I asked her, I did ask her, I said, I'd really like for you to be my girlfriend. I would really like for our relationship to grow more than just friends. And she said that she would. She said, I'd love to, but I promised my dad. And she said, I promised my dad that I would never have a boyfriend until I was 18. And I didn't understand at first. I said, this is, I don't understand. I don't get it. Why would you do that? But then something my dad told me helped me to understand, and I realized that because of how much I cared about her, I should respect her father, and I should respect her. And so I told her, I said, I don't understand, but if that's what you wish, then okay, you're worth waiting for. And we just left it at that. And during that time, it was really hard because I wanted to continue, even though we weren't dating. I wanted to build our relationship, and I wanted us to get closer. And she couldn't have that. It was very difficult. She didn't want her dad to think that behind his back, she had a boyfriend. So we actually had to cut all communications. Now that it was out in the open, now that she knew that I liked her, I knew that she liked her. She didn't want to get too close to me, that it would ruin any trust that she had with her father. So she actually decided that I think it was time, or she thought it was time that we cut communication, that it would be best for us to do that. And again, I didn't understand, but because I respected her, because I cared about her, I said okay. So for about a year, we would not talk at all. Like, we wouldn't call each other. We would always write each other too. We would talk on the phone, and then we would also write each other letters. It was really fun, totally fun. But ever since that happened, ever since I told her that I liked her, we stopped. And it wasn't because she didn't like me. It wasn't because I didn't like her. It was just to protect her. It was just to protect her, protect me, and just to keep her dad's trust. And it worked. It did. We stopped talking, and her dad still trusted her. And it wasn't until 2006 that I decided that I was going to go to Bible school. And so for the first semester of Bible school, it was really, really hard not to talk to her. And it was really hard for her not to be able to see me or to talk to me. So we started calling again. And we started calling each other, and we started talking again. It was right before I left, actually. It was right before we took off. I asked her if I could call her. And she said, okay. And I asked her if I could write her. She said, okay, yeah. Now that I think about it, I don't think we ever wrote each other while we were there, because we had phones. So I would just text her all the time, or I would call her. But yeah, we as soon as I went over there that first year, we would call each other at least once a week, because at the time I had a cell phone, but she had a prepaid phone, and so she was very limited on the minutes that she could use. I still remember those things. That's crazy. But so that she was always given an allowance of minutes, and she was supposed to use those minutes for emergencies, to call her parents, to call if she needed a ride, to like text her siblings, or to text her parents, or to text Sal. And but that was it. So she was only allowed a certain amount of minutes, and with those minutes, it was very rare that she was able to actually call me, because she had to use it for other stuff. So I would go out and I would buy her minutes. I would go and I'd buy a little card, and on one of the times that she would call me, I would give her the code. She would put it in, and there you go, 500 minutes, or 200 minutes, or however much I could afford at that time. I would actually go and I'd buy her those minutes. So for the first, I think it was the first year, that's how we would talk. That's how we would talk. We would talk with each other. And at that time, I had my own phone line. I had gotten off of my parents' plan, and I got my own cell phone. And I was paying my own, cell phone, my own, plan and everything. And December comes around, and it's already the first year of Bible school. It was already that first semester I was finished, and I went home to go and visit. And her birthday's in December, so that December of 2006, she turned 18. So that December, I decided that I wanted to ask her out. So I went out and I went to her house and I sat in front of her dad and I asked her dad, I told her dad that I really cared about her. That I really, really, really enjoyed spending time with her, really enjoyed being with her. And I asked him for his permission to date her, to be able to come down and visit and be able to take her out on a date, or to be able to call her, or to be able to write her, even though we never wrote. But that's what I asked, and he said yeah. He made me fill out an application. Funny. Anyway, he tricked me by wanting me to fill out an application, but he was just messing around. But yeah, after a long talk, he asked me what my intentions were, and if I was going to take care of her, and I said yes. And he said, if I would protect her, and I said yes. He asked me if I would love her, and I said yeah, I would. I will. I will always love her. And that was that. I started dating as of December 31st. Actually, yeah. December 31st was the day that we started dating. And December 31st, 2006 was the first day. So my second semester went into Bible school with a girlfriend. I loved it. It was so awesome because I was able to tell my friends, and I was able to show them a picture and say, hey, this is my girlfriend. We just started dating. And she's a freshman in college, and it was really, really cool. And I loved it. I loved it. I loved being able to talk to her on the phone, and our relationship built, and it started getting stronger and stronger. And the first year was actually it's really weird because most relationships, their first year is like the best year. That's when they're in their quote unquote honeymoon phase, where nothing they do is wrong. They love everyone, and they're just always in love and always hugging and holding each other, and great. Well, for us, our first year was like the hardest because we were separated. We lived about 4 hours away from each other. She stayed here at home, and I lived over there in San Antonio. And it was so hard because I rarely got to see her. I think out of a whole year, I got to see her maybe like 8 times. And then in the summer, I would come home in the summer and I'd get to see her. So for the first two years of our relationship, we worked like hardcore to maintain our relationship, because everyone told us, everyone would always say, how are you doing a long distance relationship? That's so hard. Most long distance relationships don't last. But I wanted to prove everyone wrong. I wanted to show everyone and tell everyone, that's not true. It will last. Because my parents, before they got married, when they started dating, my parents lived about 3 hours away. My dad lived in Riondo. My mom lived in Robstown. And my dad wouldn't live. My dad lived in Huntsville. And my mom lived in Robstown, close to Corpus. So my dad would travel from school, come down and visit my mom. And he didn't have family in Robstown, so he would only come for like a day and just hang out with her for a day, spend time with her for a day, sleep that night, go to church there in my grandpa's church, and then take off that Sunday, go back to school. Where I would come down for a Friday. I'd come down Friday, be here all day or the whole day Friday, be here Saturday, be here Sunday, and then leave Sunday night. So, if my dad can do it, I can do it. I know it's possible. I knew it was possible. So I wanted to prove everyone wrong, and I know I did, because look at where we're at now. I mean, after almost 6 years of dating, I'm married to her, and we've been married for a whole year. Never, ever, ever, ever have we ever had problems. Never have we ever had problems where we told each other this isn't gonna work. We need our space. We need a break. Anyway, um, we never had that. We never had that problem for the 6 years that we dated. We dated faithfully. I loved her unconditionally, and she loved me. I know unconditionally. I never doubted her. I never questioned her. I never lost faith in her or lost my trust in her, and she never did the same for me. I was 4 hours away at a school where she didn't know anyone, and she still trusted me, and I never gave her any reason not to. But kind of lost track of what I was saying. Anyway, so we made it work. We made it work, and I'm really glad because I mean, look at where we're at now. We're married. We've been married for 1 year, and I get to say, how many people honestly get to say that they married their best friend, and I do. I get to say that. I get to say that my best friend is my wife. I married my best friend, and I love it. I love it. Well, I think I've already gone over any time limit that I could have, but this is a start. I mean, this is gonna be a whole brand new experience. I know this is just 1 year that we've been married, and we have a whole lot to do, a whole lot more to go on. No kids yet, but maybe one day. Maybe one day. We're praying, and we're just leaving it open. Whenever God feels that we're ready, then we're baby. But until then, we're enjoying our time. We're able to travel. We're able to have a free schedule. Just come and go as we please, and that's fun. But just wanted to share that with y'all. Just wanted to share. I'm gonna spend these next few days sharing my thoughts and sharing how I feel, and I hope y'all enjoy that. And to my babe, I know you're gonna see it because I'm gonna send it to you right now. But I just want you to know that I love you, and I care about you so much, and you mean the world to me. And my life, even though it was complete already, you've made my life better. You've made every day waking up to you, waking up right next to you. You waking me up every day has been worth it. And I've never, ever, ever, ever felt like not waking up. These days that I've got to spend with you, this whole year that I've got to spend with you is worth it. And I'm looking forward, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see what else is next. What else is going to happen. It's going to be great. So I love you so much, and I care about you. And happy soon-to-be anniversary. I love you, babe.